Do you want to keep your shoulders healthy, prevent pain, get out of pain, or improve your athletic performance? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to train your rotator cuff so that you can accomplish all of those things. Shown here are the first two exercises that I would recommend most people, including probably you, start off with, at least for a little bit. These exercises are unlikely to aggravate your shoulder. They can be easily made harder or easier just by changing the resistance, and are simple enough that you can just focus on learning form and how to properly isolate the cuff muscles. That's actually really important with rotator cuff strengthening because most people do them super wrong. Later on in this video, I will teach you the common mistakes and how to not make them. Shown here is an alternative to the banded external rotation exercise. This is actually my preferred one, but it's a little harder, so I didn't show it at first. You can choose whichever of the two you like best. Next up, here are the other two I would recommend people perform. These are harder and best added on later on after you have already learned how to isolate the cuff muscles. Let's talk about how not to screw up these exercises. There are 4 big errors I want you to watch out for. First, when doing the exercises with the arm at the side, you should ensure that the arm remains pinched against the side at all times throughout the exercise. Placing a rolled towel in our armpit and pinching it often helps us to automatically do so. The key thing here is that when rotating the arm, whether out or in, we want to visualize rotating around a rod running from the elbow up through the shoulder. I say that because frequently the error that happens is people will lift their arm and elbow up away from the body. But when you do that, you're actually working your deltoid, not your rotator cuff. Second is when doing any rotator cuff exercise, you want to ensure that the elbow remains bent at 90 degrees at all times and does not move. Frequently, people end up straightening or bending the elbow, which gives the appearance of rotating the shoulder, but is actually using your biceps or your triceps instead. So try to relax those muscles and ensure that when you rotate, you feel it working deep inside your shoulder. That tells you that you are actually working the cuff and not dominating entirely with bigger muscles. Third is letting the shoulder blade move too much. Frequently, as people rotate back, they will end up pinching and then unpinching the shoulder blades. This also makes it look like the rotator cuff is being worked, but again, it's not. It's an illusion. That's because the larger shoulder blade muscles, like the rhomboids, are the ones actually doing the work as they contract and then let go. So to fix this, before you start any cuff exercise, you want to gently pinch your shoulder blades together and then hold that gentle contraction at all times throughout the exercise. That helps to guarantee that you are isolating and working the cuff muscles rather than cheating with those bigger ones. Fourth is letting the arm move forward or backward while doing a 90-90 or similar exercise. When this happens, again, you are typically cheating by using your rhomboids, your deltoids, or even using your back and twisting. To fix this, again, ensure that you have gently pinched together your shoulder blades and you hold them there. Then focus on initiating the movement with the muscles deep inside of your shoulder, because that's your rotator cuff. That will normally clean up your form. Now, with those problems solved, let's move on to my 4 key rotator cuff training recommendations. Number 1 is starting out, just focus on learning to control your rotator cuff before you worry about weight. It does no good if you're lifting really heavy, but strengthening the raw muscles like the biceps, triceps, rhomboids, etc. Number 2 is to strengthen the cuff in a variety of different positions. I showed you 2, and I would do at least those, but having a wider variety is also likely beneficial. The importance of the variety does depend upon you and your individual activities and needs though. Number 3 is to strengthen the cuff at a variety of different speeds. The videos I included are slow and controlled. That is what we should do initially, but will not be enough for everybody. For certain athletes, like baseball players or gymnasts, we need our muscles to contract quickly and readily. So those people should be working on doing these exercises at rapid speeds that correlate with their sport. Number 4 is to tailor your positions and speed to your own individual needs. Like mentioned, a baseball player will have different demands than a weightlifter because they are in different positions and different speeds. So you want to identify what you require and then work on training your shoulder accordingly. Target the positions that you spend the most time in and the speeds you need. As for how often you should train the rotator cuff, honestly, that depends a little bit on what your goals are, but generally, here's what I recommend. Train it 2 to 3 days a week, performing 2 to 4 sets per exercise of the 4-ish exercises I provided. That comes out to a total volume of 8 to 20 sets per week. If your goal is to improve strength, then aim for 8 to 12 repetitions per exercise while ensuring it is hard enough that you cannot do more than 15, because otherwise that exercise is likely too easy and not challenging enough for your body to get stronger. However, if your goal is to improve endurance, then you can likely change that around to more like 15 to 30 repetitions, and the weight you lift doesn't matter quite as much. And finally, if you are doing high-speed rotator cuff work, then you should do that at the start of your workout for about 3 to 8 repetitions. Don't wait until the end of your workout to do it, because at that point, you'll be too fatigued to do things quickly and you won't get the adaptions you're looking for. So that is what the rotator cuff is, how we train it, and how I would individualize your training. I hope this helped, and if you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe or check out my phone app.